right, guys, here's the whole deal right here. Hope I'm getting this in the video, but pop that screw off right there. And you end up with this guy. And we're going to put this push washer right here. I don't know if you can see that, but this push washer will go once you put it up through the hole like this. This push washer will go in between here. You got to kind of like put it in there sideways like this, and it's a tight fit, believe me. And then you press it on there, which I'll show you in a second. But first thing I want to do is I'm going to lube that plate right there. Plate right here. You can wipe all this stuff off when you're done. Just give it out a little lube right there for the washer to sit in the hole. So, and what I did was I pushed it through, pressed on the table here like that, slid the washer in between the worm gear, and just give it a good press, and she'll go on. And then with these little tits sticking up, I just took a small flathead like this and kind of worked it around. And you see how it's going on pretty well. And there's still a little space in there, so you try to get that out so you can put the gear back on. And then just push these tits down, each one of these. You have to push them all the way down because the gear will end up doing it. And you see, you still have enough of that little catch right here, where the gear sits on. So stick a little lube in there, and set your gear on. I'm gonna push these tits down a little bit more. I just did one of these. It came out great. There we go. Got to push those little tits down, you know, and then put your screw in, of course. And then what happens is when you tighten this up, those tits get pushed all the way down flat. And I hope you're getting this, but now the washer's in there. We got grease on both sides, and just take your gear and tighten it down like all the way, and you'll still have a couple thousandths. I'm putting a lot of pressure on this to tighten this. All right, so there you go. And now there's absolutely no play in here, very little. Maybe there's like a thousandth of an inch between that new washer right there and your gear, and it tightens this whole assembly right up. I mean, and they even feel better. They, you know, they're actually smooth now, and there's no play in the post. And of course, you know, before you're done, you know, I would lube all the points. Lube your gear up a little bit. Make sure you got some grease on on these because it gets covered up anyway with the back plate, with the cover. So you get like all your pivot points, you know, the gear, everything. Worm gear, and grease in there. They're covered anyway, so it isn't like it's going to get dirt, and you know, you're not playing in dirt anyway, so I mean, I think they'll stay very clean inside. And give it a whirl. Very smooth now. So it's really something how that little, you know, I don't even know what size that washer would be thickness wise. It only looks like a couple thousandths. But, you know, work it back and forth. You know, there's so much less play in these tuners. It's crazy, you know. And just give them a little wipe down. Get all the excess grease off. And basically that's it, you know. I mean, it made the tuner much tighter and smoother. I mean, it feels really good. It actually feels kind of like a, you know, an enclosed tuner now, like a Grover or something like that, you know. It's much smoother. You don't get that metal to metal sound that you usually get from these tuners. That if I'm explaining that right, you know. And there you have it. Wipe a little bit off of this here, side that thing. And just make sure you tighten that screw up really tight. It doesn't matter how tight you get it. I mean, I tightened it up really tight. And I still have probably a thousandth of an inch between the washer and this plate right here. Now just put your plate back on. Back cover. You just snap in. And that's it. Boom. No play. None at all. Probably can't see that, but there was absolutely no play. You know, and they turn well. They feel good. It's something. Let me tell you. What a difference. After talking to the guy from Occlusion Tuners, we talked about this for a while, and he was saying that it's very hard for them to come out with tuners for Squiers because a lot of people won't spend the money on a you know, a high dollar tuner for a Squier, which I can see that. I mean, you know, me though, I mean, you know, it's just me. If they came out with a tuner that looked just like this, or you know, something cooler, of course, with the back plate or whatever, but if it was a direct fit with a nice ratio, I would buy them. I mean, I would even spend, you know, 80, 100 bucks on a set of tuners. You know, that would be an upgrade, you know, as long as the holes, you know, matched and everything and your post size is the same. But if the holes matched up, I would put them right in. If not, nope, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to drill holes in the guitar neck, you know, even though Squiers, you know, ain't worth that much, you know, I get it, but it's just me, you know. I mean, I got USA Strats, you know, and all that other stuff, but you know, a guitar's, you know, a guitar to me, and I think upgrading it is fine with the electronics and stuff like that, pick guards, you know, blah blah blah. But when it comes to tuners and you got to drill new holes, totally against that. But I hope this helped you guys. It worked out really well. I mean, I think they're going to be a lot more, you know, they're going to be better to use and more stable. Probably stay more in tune and everything. You know, just doing that little trick, you know, with this little guy right there. That's all it is. Little push washer, push type lock washer. You know, very thin. I don't know if you can see that, but super thin. It looks like it's only 3,000ths or something, maybe, you know, 2,000ths, maybe 4,000ths. I don't know, but it's very thin and it worked perfect. Anyway, back to the build. The new pickups came in anyway. Nice, sweet. Oh boy, parts everywhere. But that's awesome. Very good. This one I just started working on, by the way. So I gotta like take it apart and put the washer on. Because I started greasing this one this morning and still loose. And then I started thinking about, you know, spacing it with a washer. So I got to take this one apart again and redo it. But I got 2 done so far. Doesn't take very long to do it either. I mean, you know. So good luck with you guys. All right, later.